All right, Donald Trump taped a guest appearance on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live. He answered a bunch of questions from Jimmy Kimmel, and one of them was, would he debate Bernie Sanders? He said yes. Here is video of Jimmy Kimmel asking Trump if he'd be willing to debate Bernie Sanders, and here is Trump's answer.
I asked Bernie Sanders because he's going to be here tomorrow to ask a question. Have you met Bernie? Have you guys ever met before?
I've never really had the privilege.
I see. Okay, so here's the question from Bernie. He asked, Hillary Clinton backed out of an agreement to debate me in California before the June 7th primary.
Right.
Are you prepared to debate the major issues facing our largest state and the country before the California primary? Yes or no? He wants to know if you will debate him.
Yes, I am. How much is he going to pay me?
You would do it for a price? What would the price be?
Yeah, because if I debated him, we would have such high ratings, and I think I should take that money and give it to some worthy charity, okay?
So if it was done for charity, you would agree to do that?
If he paid a nice sum toward a charity, I would love to do that.
Oh, interesting. What if the network put up the money and then you guys came in?
That could happen also.
That could
happen. In fact,
happen.
I've been saying that should happen.
Why does Bernie have to pay to debate Trump? It doesn't really make sense. I mean, if the idea is for charity, then it could be for charity, but I don't know why Bernie would pay.
Well, maybe what Trump is thinking is that since it seems as though Bernie will not be the candidate,
right,
that this is all just kind of for entertainment value. And so maybe he feels that that for some reason there should be money involved here.
So Bernie Sanders responded on Twitter, his official Twitter account, tweeting last night, "Game on. I look forward to debating Donald Trump in California before the June 7th primary." A bunch of people emailed me saying, what does Bernie have to lose? I think it has the potential to backfire on Bernie. My prediction is that Bernie Sanders would absolutely destroy Donald Trump in a debate under sort of normal circumstances. However, number one, it's very possible that there would be certain issues off the table, or that there would be an agreement that everybody's going to play nice and that Bernie Sanders is not going to gut Donald Trump during this debate. And so it could end up being sort of milquetoast in a sense. Number two, I don't find this particularly likely, but what if Donald Trump destroys Bernie in this debate somehow, okay? And it really props up Donald Trump's chances of winning in November, right? A sort of total backfire. And also, it would have the potential of actually making it seem as though Hillary is really the terrible choice, right? Look, we've got Bernie and Trump. They agree to have this nice debate. Bernie doesn't gut Trump. Trump doesn't get lucky and have some kind of linguistic kill shot on Bernie Sanders. And it's actually Hillary who ends up looking bad. Hillary ultimately gets the nomination, and this hurts her chances in November. This could really backfire.
That's the way I would envision this being bad for the Democrats.
Right.
Alternatively, there really aren't any Bernie supporters that Donald Trump is going to win over, or probably independents, if this debate goes well for him. But as we've discussed, there are many Trump supporters who like the ideas of Bernie Sanders. Might not think they're realistic, but they want to kick brown people out, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that Bernie Sanders could win over some of those Trump supporters and independents who might be leaning towards Trump.
Some of the Trump supporters we interviewed in New Hampshire seemed to actually agree with Bernie Sanders' policy ideas. They just had no clue that that's who they agreed with.
Well, I think one of them came out and said, I like Bernie Sanders. Yeah, his ideas are good, but
it's Bernie and Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is another element of brilliance here from Donald Trump in suggesting this, which is he has started to be way more positive about Bernie Sanders, saying during the Jimmy Kimmel clip that I played for you that he hasn't had the privilege of meeting Bernie Sanders. And he could show up and start talking about Bernie very positively before this debate, if it ever happens, right? And we have no clue if it's ever going to happen. He could say, I think Bernie Sanders is a great guy. I think Bernie followers are great people. They're not crooked like crooked Hillary. May the best person win. And of course, this is all but completely locked up for Hillary Clinton. So Trump could actually create even more of this idea that Bernie is the better candidate, but that Hillary is ultimately going to win. This really is a potentially brilliant way to get within the Democratic primary and hurt Hillary Clinton.
But has the Trump campaign really impressed you with brilliant strategy thus far?
No, not as far as strategy, but there's no doubt that I used the term linguistic kill shot earlier. if you look at the polling and you Google the search term crooked Hillary, when crooked Hillary became a rising search term, Donald Trump's polling in the hypothetical matchups against Hillary surged up in conjunction. Low energy for Jeb Bush, absolutely devastating. I don't know if Trump is coming across these things accidentally. I don't know if he's working with a cunning linguist, for lack of a better term, and coming up with some of these terms. But something about how he is speaking on these issues is really working very, very well.
That is true. A few of those terms have been, I admit, Jeb was a very low energy guy.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant.
Yeah. And the crooked Hillary thing has really taken off in terms of how it's impacting searches and how often it's being used. So in any case, I think that on the one hand, hey, what does Bernie have to lose? On the other hand, this has the potential to be a game changer for Trump in a way that I don't know that it could be for Bernie Sanders. My prediction is we won't actually get this debate, but I'm hoping that we will. I'm on Twitter at @Pakman. Lewis is on Twitter at @LewisMotamedi. I've talked about how people of all ages, but particularly millennials, are owning cars less and participating more in the sharing economy. And one of the more popular options is Zipcar, which gets you a car when you want it, when you need it. They offer all sorts of cars, SUVs, hybrids, whatever you need. It includes insurance and it includes gas. You just pay for the time that you actually use the car. And you can reserve the car online from your smartphone over the phone. Then you unlock it with your Zip card. Each car share member reduces their personal CO2 emissions by between 1,100 and 1,600 pounds per year. For our audience, Zipcar is offering $25 of free driving credit if you sign up at joinzipcar.com/David. Support our show, reduce your carbon emissions and your spending on cars. Sign up at joinzipcar.com/David.